Hi everyone, this is 25th of December last week um, of this month. So first we'll look at one day starting with BTC, then look into weekly and then monthly and then go through all the active list. Okay, so starting with daily, unfortunately there's nothing much. However, in last 5 days, the the week started with some hiccups. As you could see, there was a um, there was a correction and it touched the warning level. So that was kind of a touch and go kind of situation, because if this would have continued going down and if it would have touched this, then probability of making new low would have been much higher, probably highest. However, next day it shot up, and this was a defensive move and almost touched the prior support, which was the resistance in that case. So if you review it and review these endpoints, it's following pretty much these levels that are shared. So one could plan very easily or strategize based on this, right? So this was a bit scary. However, survived pretty well, and then there was another attempt, as you could see, but then defended by the blue. And then since then, moving sideways. Now, what we see here is nothing. Means there's no threat or opportunity. Totally flat. For last, this is the fifth day. Totally flat. To me, that's positive. Okay. Not moving on the downside is positive. Moving on the upside, definitely everybody would like to see, because we would not like to see around warning level, that's for sure. We would like to see somewhere here trying to break above the orange. The orange level is a pretty interesting one. When it fell down, the first attempt, the bounce that you see was rejected by this level. And then this was the second attempt. So what I would like to see here is another attempt touching the orange. If that happens, then the probability of breaking above orange would be very high. And in that case, it could go for this higher level, right? So that's simple analysis. Now, at this moment, I don't see any risk. It's utterly boring. There's no opportunity except few coins pumping here and there, but there's no trend for majority of the coin, large cap point of view, right? But things could improve. And as I mentioned, few points in daily updates, let's say DXY is going down, right? So that's positive. Um, Bond yields are not correcting, but on Friday they were down. So they are kind of on edge. So still we want to wait and see how they behave, because they need to go down for BTC to rise, because if the yields keep going up, then the Fed will try to match the rate. And that's the issue, right? So the bond yields must go down. And that's something we have to see in next week or so, right? But they are still under 4, most of them. So we still have a chance. DXY is definitely very weak, and there were definitely some attempts during this week, but not much of a move. So that's very positive. Stock market is also weak, but there are various reasons. So we will not go into that. One of the reasons is the China, because the supply chain uh, issue. But yeah, for crypto, the major factor is, I think, Binance is major factor. There is definitely liquidity crunch. And one general factor that I see is related to the month end, which is many the traders or investor could be booking losses. Now, in the US, if you made loss, if basically if there is unrealized loss, means you have a position but the positions are in loss, then one could sell and book loss. So for example, in early part of the year, let's say in case if you have made profit, but you have right now unrealized profit, unrealized loss, sorry, unrealized loss. So, but you haven't booked it. So many people would try to book it. Right? Book means close the trade, close the position. So if you had made a if you had made profit in early part of the year, and but having loss right now, then they will be it will be compensated. Means you will not be paying realized capital gain because you book the loss, so that will nullify or at least negate, right? So that's how people would think. So there would be pressure from that point of view. The same thing for the stock, even the same thought process. If I'm in loss, say for year 2022, I would rather book loss. So there could be some tax benefit. Depends on the country. I'm not trying to suggest what you should do, but this is a regular trend. So that's why sometimes there is pressure in, yeah, towards the end of the December month. But there are multiple factors for crypto, as I mentioned. A lot of rumors about finance. Stock market is under pressure, so tech stocks are under pressure. So we have seen the correlationship between tech stocks and BTC, right? So that's another reason. And bond yields are not giving up, so that's another reason. So there are definitely negative factor affecting the pricing. However, we have to see how the next week starts with. Usually end of the, yeah, Christmas time, and then especially the first week of the, or I would say first month of the year, January, and sometimes February. These two months where um, bull gets the charge and starts some firecrackers. Right. So basically, yeah. So that these are the reasons why BTC is under pressure, and we have to probably wait for another week to see if there is any improvement. Let's have a look at weekly on Stamp. So on a monthly, we can actually skip to monthly first. Um, Very simple approach. Still, it's staying above. If you zoom in, so staying above the yellow line. So, and this is a mega trend, so to speak, because this is last 9 years of where we are talking about simple trend line approach. As I mentioned last week, there are multiple approaches. This is one of the approaches where you use the trend line. Right? So from trend line point of view, it's on edge. Right. So we don't want it to see near the support because that would be catastrophic from a monthly point of view. So the monthly hasn't improved because it's still having the red candle, and it's not about just red candle, but we would like to see a nice move about what 21K ultimately on a monthly. Right. So this is still under pressure. This is on edge for sure. So this has to improve on a monthly time frame. Because if this breaks down, then you could imagine it never happened in the last 9 years. It never happened. And that could be a big one, right? But at this moment, we don't have to worry because it hasn't happened, right? And we are keeping an eye, so we don't have to assume, right? And I think weekly, there's nothing much to add to be honest, because if you look at weekly, it's almost flat. There's nothing. It's green for sure, but it's flat. So in fact, not just this one, but if you look at last 5 6 weeks, in fact, there's nothing much, or more or less the same level, right? So that's the situation. What can we do? Nothing can be done there. Okay, so we can go back to no, we can start with altcoin, starting with Atom. Now this is double bottom now, and from this local setup point of view, this is far from the June low, as you know. And this week there's not much progress, more or less the same as I think it's a very similar candle as BTC. So flat AVAX slightly below, but not much, which is fine. There's not a threat though, but there's no opportunity for sure at this moment. BNB under pressure. We know a lot of rumors around BNB, so we have to just ignore it, I would say, unless it breaks above 288. If it breaks above this support, then probably that's the first thing, I would say, initial offer or initial opportunity. But I think I would like to see 288. Then it would be attractive. Yeah, starting with 260 and then 288 for BNB. Not now, not this week, not with the current level, because this is still under pressure. CRO, much better, if it's much better. So it's holding up this level much better. So this is an opportunity, potential opportunity, and this is the support. So you see how close it is, because if it's continue with the progress, continue with the bounce, then this could be a great trade, in my opinion. Doge, not bad. It's just, yeah, but I mean, not pretty from a weekly candle point of view. 3 back-to-back red candles, but setup point of view, like this was a great move, a downside move, and then a rise, and then another one. But now this is like what, like a retest of this low. So this is still okay from a pattern point of view. It is, and next week it could bounce and then go for a recovery, second major attempt after this one. Okay, so not bad at all. DOT is looking weak for sure. This is the, it made new low. So again, I'm not going to offer any support unless someone is interested, as I mentioned last week. Okay, and opportunity point of view, it has to break over this support. Then, because that's a minimum requirement. Ideally, it should be above this on level from where it got rejected here in month of November last. But even if it breaks above this support level, that's good enough for us to be interested. At this moment, this downtrend continues. If you look at it, so not looking good. AGLD, the same story. In fact, more aggressive, new low. You see, last week it was on edge because it was on edge. This week is bad. So not looking good for sure. Ethereum, not bad. Is a green candle, much better, stabilizing. No, nothing major though, but there's no red candles and pretty decent. I would say it's holding up nicely. Filecoin, Filecoin, not bad. No new low this week. It's right on the support, last support, so it's staying there, holding up. But you know that it has to break about four, I think, at least $4. Then it would do well, and not here. But one may try, because keeping this low in mind, but conservative ones would wait for $4, and if you're super conservative, then probably above the orange level. Flux. Flux is not bad. Okay, so it's holding up. No new low. FDM flat, red, slightly on the red, but not bad. It's holding up, I would say. HNT made a great move, intra-week move, like 50-55% move, and try to break above the support, but retraced. So it's a more like pump and a dump kind of a move, but at least a good attempt. Right. So for me, it has to close above, not just touch and break above, but to close above this support. Then this is attractive. Okay. And then second move should be about the orange for sure. So the first move should close. I mean, it should, whenever it closes above this support at 2.25, then uh, that would provide the first opportunity, and then about the orange level. For now, I would say this is more defensive move, but interesting. KCS is trying to bounce. It's much better than BNB though, because KCS is also having some, there are news or rumors that they are also offering very high interest rates. So they are also in trouble. But there's no concrete news or evidence suggesting that they are really bankrupt or in trouble. So um, at this moment, it's flat. This week, it was green just now. It turned red, but it's flat basically, but not making yellow. That's the good news. Link is flat. So Link is not just flat now, but actually since May, month of May, if you average out low, high, right? This is the range. So one could just simply put a box there, and then, like this, because there's no opportunity. You cannot trade this. There's nothing much to do but wait. So for this one, this orange level or maybe slightly higher, 9.6 or something would be a better level. There's nothing much otherwise at this point. It's simply moving sideways for last 7 months. Huge, huge consolidation. So yeah, Matic flat, I would say. If you look at this one, this is also the test of this. More like Doge, went up nicely, down, another attempt, rejected, down, but not known, but no new low. So very similar behavior. Sand not looking good at this moment, right? Because new low, it has to break above 0.5587 support for us to be interested at this moment now. No way. So Solana is also dicey at this moment. I would say it has to break over this screen, which is at 15.14. So I would set an alert and wait for it to break above 15.14. At this moment, this is not a good setup, I would say. It's attractive because it's under 12, but you never know because it may continue and move towards $8 something. So not looking good for sure. But the moment it breaks above 12.63, then we could be interested, but I would rather wait for it to break above this level, the higher 15.14. Then I think because I don't want to get in and get out in this mess. You know, it's better to, it's okay to, you know, get at this price and then go and add more on higher and then stay longer than doing in and out. Probability point of view. It's not that once it breaks about this, it could never go down. But in that case, one could get out somewhere here because this will become support line noise. Anyways, I think with this note, all the coins are covered. Feel free to ask me any question. I'm available. Um, one of the reasons there are limited posts because there's nothing much to offer. Right? Probably the whole market is in a holiday mood, whatever. Or as I said, somehow the liquidity is very low. Right? Rumors and China lockdown and effect of supply chain. I mean, effect, so many factors affecting the overall, I think, price action. We got to wait for next week to see how if it improves. Okay, so until then, yeah, if you have any question, feel free to ask me. I'll definitely get back to you. Okay, that's it then. Thank you, everyone. Bye for now.